How much of you did you know before?
We knew his girlfriend stories, we knew his drug stories, because it was like a myth. But when I read the script, it was totally shocking.
Here's a guy who gets just totally sucked into like a bomb blast case, but he still is talking to the underworld. He also has certain tendencies which are bordering on breaking the law. How do you look at it as a character?
Sanjay Dutt's life can be made as a Netflix show for like 10 seasons and it will still be going on. So we had to really justify all the key moments in his life and kind of comprise it in that. Namaskar, this is Ranbir and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Right from the first still that was leaked out when you guys were shooting, and now like even like a poster, each poster the way it is coming, it's like an event in itself. You don't need like a proper event in a PVR or anything of that sort. It's like everyone is like so curious about it in terms of that what is it, and let's just look out for it. Have you ever experienced such sort of euphoria for any character while filming or post?
I don't think so. And I have that kind of reality check that it's not happening because of me being the hero. It's because Sanjay Dutt's life is Raju Hirani's film. Those are the front runners where this hysteria is being caused. Of course, people are also reacting a lot to how I'm looking very similar to him. So the pressure's on, and I just hope now that the audience feels that this excitement is justified when they see the film once again.
Everyone associated with the film, I think they have wonderful things to say about you. Paresh Rawal sir, as I mentioned, Diya yesterday I spoke to her, and she, Vicky Kaushal, everyone, they have got some amazing things to say. Now, how much did you know about Sanjay Dutt's life when you were offered this film? Because there are things that startle you. The fact that he actually begged for money in US, and the fact that that entire flush scene in the jail, that's something that really brings that lump in the throat, and the fact that he was actually slapped by a policeman, I'm sure that he was during his interrogation. How much of you did you know before?
I knew all his, as kids while growing up, or when you're with friends, Sanjay Dutt had done this then. We knew his girlfriend stories, we knew his drug stories, because it was like a myth, what Sanjay Dutt has done in his life. But when I read the script, it was totally shocking and a surprise, like, wow, what a life. Is it true? Did this really happen? You don't believe it. So the Sanju sir I knew was very, because I was a fan of Mr. Sanjay Dutt. Just the way he was, he used to look, his hairstyles, the way he used to dress, his sports cars, and the star side of Sanjay Dutt. And then I knew him as a family friend because he used to be home a lot of times. He's done a lot of work with my father. He's very fond of my mother, and he's very fond of me. On my birthday 6 years back, he bought me a Harley Davidson bike. And he has nothing to do with me, I'm not a direct relative of his, but he always showered a lot of love towards me. He always made me buy cars. If I bought that red sports car, it's because he told me buy this car. The white Audi I have, that's also designed by him. So my father always calls him and shouts at him and abuses him that don't spoil my son. And he really enjoys it, so he really treats me like his own son. So I knew that side of him. But to actually experience it and now to perform it and to actually learn about, oh wow, this is his life, was really amazing. I was like, wow, I have more respect for him because he's fallen down so many times because of himself, because of his own mistakes, because of his own immaturity, if I can use that word, and then to rise. And in an industry like this, when there's so much of spotlight and there's so much of heaviness that comes when you do something wrong, to kind of shun that and to keep rising and keep growing and keep coming back. It's a story of a boxer, it's a story of a true boxer.
Sure. Now, you've done many films, and many films in terms of that character-driven films, very well-written films, and you bring something I think new out of it as a performer each time. When you look at Sanjay Dutt's life as entirely like maybe a work of writing for that matter, I'm not saying fiction, it's extremely interesting. Here's a guy who gets just totally sucked into like a bomb blast case, but he still is talking to the underworld on phone, and he gets caught over there as well. He has a personal life which is like you can easily judge him that maybe he was not there entirely for his first wife when she was battling through cancer, and a lot of other issues as well. How do you look at it as a character? Because it's कोई बहुत अच्छी बातें होती हैं तो it tends to be boring, but this is a very very interesting character. You can love him, you can hate him as well easily, and you can judge him. You can say that how the hell can you possibly do it? He also has certain tendencies which are bordering on breaking the law. It has happened several times. It's a very very interesting character. So as an artist entirely, how do you look at it?
There were certain beats in the film where as an actor you get turned on. You know, like, wow, I have to portray all these, I'm getting the opportunity to really portray all this life that he's lived, these emotions, and I have a great cushioned pillow in Mr. Raju Hirani and his script, and I'm going to be really taken care of as an actor because the opportunity is there and my emotions will not go waste, you know. So you're very excited, you're very inspired, and in our industry, inspiration is a luxury. It doesn't come all the time. You know, it's not that every film you work on, you're inspired and you know you're turned on. So this is that film that which is a luxury. You know, it's backed up by this character. And see, Faridun, it's a film. It's a 2.5 hour film. Sanjay Dutt's life can be made as a Netflix show for like 10 seasons and it will still be going on. So we had to really justify all the key moments in his life and kind of comprise it in that, and also make it interesting, make it engaging, give them a cinematic experience of it. It's not a documentary. It's not case somebody is sitting and you're just seeing someone's existential life. You know, we picked the best conflicted, controversial, exciting, entertaining, emotional times of his life and put it in the movie. So I was turned on, man. Namaskar, this is Ranbir and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.